Hi guys, how are you? How are you doing? Hope you're doing fine. It's another time we are meeting here to discuss the way we can develop ourselves, both our mind and our body as a whole. So welcome into my channel where we teach femininity, elegance, etiquette, body and mind development. So guys, stay tuned in this topic. It's a good topic and most of you are going to benefit from what I'm going to talk today. We are going to talk about things you can consider before you marry someone. So don't marry someone until you ask yourself these 8 critical questions that I'm going to put down. So marriage is a tough decision many of us need to make, and before you make that decision you need to take some consideration. You know, it's a lifetime thing. It's not something you just wake up one morning and just get into it. So it's good if you are in marriage or you want to be there, you have to ask yourself these 8 critical questions. So let's go straight to the point. Number 1 question you need to ask yourself is, are your life goals compatible? You have this partner. So before you get married to this person, be it a lady or a man, you have to ask yourself, are you compatible? Are your life goals compatible? Under this, you can consider things like, how many number of kids do you want to have? Maybe you want to have 4 and him or her wants to have 3 kids or 2 kids. So you need to talk about that so that by the time you get into that marriage, it's not going to be a thing of disagreement. Another thing, it can be financial goals. So what are your financial goals? Maybe you want to be somewhere after 5 years, you want to do many big business, to engage yourself into many activities, you want to work hard so that you have a good life. And maybe the other person is not even interested about financial goals. So you have to make sure this other person is compatible with what your financial goals are. So you need to discuss these things with your partner before you get into marriage. Don't wait before you get into marriage so that you can start discussing those things. It's good to ask those questions. And under that also, you can talk things about lifestyle. Maybe you are this person who wants to stay in urban areas, and maybe this other person is an adventurous person who wants to travel all over the world. So are you ready to do or what that partner wants? So it's good to be different. It's not, I'm not meaning that you need to be the same, on the same page. Of course, from the beginning, when you want to get married, you need to be on the same page. But these are the questions you need to ask. So, for example, about this lifestyle, where do you want to stay in future? Where do you want to stay when you retire? Where do you prefer to stay? So these are the things you can discuss with your partner before you get into marriage. So you can discuss, you come into a neutral point so that when you get there, it becomes easy for you to maneuver life, okay? Number 2 question you need to ask your partner is, can I accept their flaws? Everyone has his or her own flaws. We are not perfect. We have our weakness. So it's good you know this weakness before you get into marriage with this person. And under this, you can ask yourself this question: how the temper? Maybe this person is a high-tempered person. How will you handle that? Are you able to live with that? That is the question you need to ask yourself. Don't be surprised when you get into that marriage and this person maybe does not know how to control his or her own temper. So you need to know the temper of this person and know how you can live with it, how to control it when he or she is in that temper. Another thing is, maybe this person, another flaw this person can have is tendency of forgetful. You know, maybe this partner is that person who forgets easily. Maybe you discuss over something and he forgets quickly or she forgets quickly. So how will you live with this? So you need to discuss things like that so that when you get into that marriage, you know how to handle it. So feel free to ask such questions to your partner before you get married. Another thing is habit of being late. Maybe your partner is used to being late. Are you able to handle that? That is a weakness to this person. So you need to ask this partner this question: how will you handle this thing of being late? Don't be surprised when you get into that marriage. So it's a good thing you ask this person and you get to know that is their weakness, that is their flaws, and you are ready to live with it. If you're not ready to live with it, it's still early, you can look for another person. So I'm just warning you things you have to ask this partner before you get into marriage, and these are the questions you need to ask them. Under that also you can ask, or you can things about dishonest and laziness. We have these people who are generally lazy or they're not honest with themselves. So are you able to handle that? Are you able to live with that? So these are the things you need to know or to get to understand it earlier before you get into that marriage. Some people, for example, prefer to live with a messy person than living with someone who is unfaithful. So it's all weakness we have. So it's upon you to decide if you are comfortable to live with those flaws. And remember, we are not perfect. So some things you just have to live. So long as your inner you is comfortable with it, it's okay. But I'm just warning you, it's good to know these things early before you get into marriage. Question number 3 you need to ask your partner before you get into marriage is, are we financially compatible? By this, I don't mean you need to have a lot of money, but we have many things under this you can ask your partner or you need to know before you get into marriage with this person is how you handle money, okay? You can have this other partner who is a spendthrift and another partner is someone who saves every penny. So you need to know about that. So when you get into marriage, you already have a picture of which type of a person is this when it comes to handle money. So when it comes to spending, so you know how much to spend and how much to save. Yeah, it's not all about changing someone to do what you want, but it's about agreeing, and it's good when you know these things early. So know how you handle money. Another question under financial is, how do you spend it? How you spend it. And by the topic of money is very crucial in marriage, and you need to take note on this. Yeah, so how you spend it also matters. Know how this partner spends money. Maybe he or she is working or doing some businesses. Sorry for that noise. Maybe he or she is working or doing some businesses. So you need to be open with each other to know how he or she spend that money. Maybe this person is just this person who misuse money anyhow, without not considering how much to save, how much to spend, and how to spend it. So it's good to know how much or how this partner spend the money earlier before you get into marriage, so that when you get there, you don't have this disagreement of every time. Man is everything and men is everywhere. It's a topic that will be there every day. So you need to know how this person spent money. Under that also, you need to ask to know about savings. Yeah? Are you going to save, for your future life when you retire, when you are in stuck, you need to save. So you need to have that partner who is also ready to save wherever he or she gets, so that it can help you in another way of your family. So you need to know that before you get married also. Another thing is financial goals. What goals do you have with your partner if you get married to this person? Yeah, you will get old, you are working, yes, but after some years you will retire. So where will you go after retire? What will you do after retire? And you need to save money for that retirement, so that when you get there, it becomes easy. So these are the things under financial compatibility you need to know before you get into marriage with this person. Question number 4 is, and before I go to number 4, another thing under financial you need to know is debts. Debts, it's a huge factor in marriage, and you need to know it before you get into marriage. Maybe you have this partner who has a lot of loans, debts he or she needs to pay. You should be able to be compatible with that, and you know how this person can pay those debts so that it cannot affect your marriage. Yeah, because it's something that makes a lot of marriage to break up. So you need to know if this person or this partner has debts, and if she or she has, how are you going to pay it, and so that you get over it. So you need to be open with such topics about debts, to know the other person, where he or she gets money, how he or she's money is working to pay it, so that it cannot affect your married life. Okay, so these are the things also you need to know. And the last one under that is shared expenses. And under this, I don't mean, maybe you can discuss how are you going to spend to share the expenses of marriage. Are you going to be 50-50? Are you going to be spending proportional to your salary or what you are getting from your business? So you also need to discuss on that and agree on that before you get into marriage. So pay attention under those things under financial compatibility you need to know before you get married. So let's go to number 4 is how well do we communicate with your partner? This that one is another question you need to ask your partner before you get into marriage. Communication is the key, and it's a way of expressing your feelings, your idea, your opinion to one another. So communication is the key, and it's good your partner knows how to communicate. Okay, so maybe you have this partner who is not communicating. You cannot understand him, you cannot understand her, and that can be difficult with you if you enter that marriage. So you are supposed to have open communication with this partner before you get into marriage, so that when you get there, whenever anything happens, someone is free and open to talk about it and you solve it. You know, lack of communication will bring misunderstandings, and it will bring fights, quarrels, which will lead to breakup. And who wants to get there? No one. So please have that partner who is open in communication. So have to understand your partner, how he or she communicates, so that it can help you before you get into marriage. And in that, I encourage you have a partner who has open communication. Okay. Number 5, do you share the same values? You know, under values is how we perceive the world. For example, families or honesty. Okay. Maybe this partner is not a family person, you are a family person. Maybe this person is someone who believes in many myths, in many beliefs, you are not that person. It's also good to know values of one another, what you believe in and what he believes in or what she believes in, so that when you get married, you don't have those differences. Yeah. For example, I had a certain story in a radio station where this was a Kamba lady who is married to a Luya man. They had their firstborn, and they were having this quarrel over shaving the baby's hair, their firstborn baby's hair. And the question was, the Luya man, of course, we know from Luya community, it is the parents of the husband who are supposed to shave the baby's hair. But from the Kamba community, they believe that their mother of the wife, that is the daughter, is the one who is supposed to shave the hair of the baby. So you can see the difference they had. So the man was saying, if the lady is not allowing his mother, to shave the baby's hair, that child will not be his, and they are going to divorce. And the wife was like, what's wrong about my mother shaving the hair? In our culture, we do so, you know. So you could imagine the argument these people are having if they knew earlier what is supposed to be done before they get married, you know. So those are the things I'm saying, values. No values of one culture and values of another culture when you meet with this person, so that when you get there, you don't have quarrels and fights like this one. That's the example I've given you. So that was a difficult case to handle, and it was about one partner to just submit and accept the culture of another one. And if this girl knew earlier, it would not be their problem. But because they did not discuss things of values when they were dating or courting, that's why they are having this problem. So it's good to know the values of one person before you get into marriage to avoid disagreements. Okay, yeah. Number 6, are we sexually compatible? This is another question you need to ask. And this is a topic I cannot miss to discuss under marriage because it plays a huge role in marriage. Under this, you can ask yourself these questions. How often each wants sex? Maybe you are a person who needs many rounds and this person needs even one round, he or she is okay. So you also need to know that earlier, so that when you get there, you cannot get disappointed. Okay? Under that also, what you enjoy in bedroom. You should feel free and open to share and discuss with your partner what makes you happy in the bedroom, okay? So that when you get there, you don't become surprised or be shocked and you start having this misunderstanding between each other. And by doing so, the bond between you will be surpassing and it will lead to a breakup. So it's good you know what makes you happy in bedroom. So you discuss that earlier before you get into marriage. Don't wait before you get there so that you can start seeing these things and it will not be good with you. And under that also is no health problems that might affect your sex life, okay? It's good to know health problem of one another so that you know how to handle it and you know if you are able to live with that when you get into that marriage. We have many things that can affect sex life, and that things can be maybe health problems. Maybe you are suffering some conditions and you are maybe silent about it. How will this person understand? Do you want him or her to get disappointed when you get into marriage? No. So feel open and free to ask him or her when you are dating, so that you know how to handle and live with it in your marriage before you get married. Okay? Yeah. Another question you need to ask before you get into marriage is, and that is number 7, is how does my partner handle stress? Yeah, stress is normal part of life, and we cannot live without stress. It comes from many things, maybe work, maybe health problems. So you need to be open about how you handle stress, and you need to know how this other person handles stress when he or she is in that shoes. For example, how will this person respond to stress? I was talking about how people handle stress. So under stress, we have different ways on how people handle stress. Some withdraw, okay? Some shut down. Some will talk it to others. Some will go into drugs so that they handle stress. So you need to know how this person handles stress when he or she is in a stress. And okay? And you also need to know how this person behaves when he or she has stress. How does he or she communicates? How does he or she behaves? You need to know those things earlier before you get into marriage, so that you know how you will handle him or her whenever he or she is in stress. So it's a good question to ask your partner before you get into that marriage. Okay? Let's go to the last point you need to consider before you get married is, do I like my partner enough to spend forever life with him or her? Okay? So, we have a difference between to love someone and to like someone. And when you want to get married, you don't have to just love that person, but you also have to like them. Okay? And how will you like this person? Marriage is something you'll get, it's a lifetime thing. And it will sometimes get bored, it will be monotonous, and you'll have to stay there. You cannot change, or you cannot, unless you decide to divorce, of which one wants to divorce. So you need to know how will you live with this person, so that you don't bore anyone, or you don't get, it doesn't look like a monotonous thing. So I've said, apart from just loving this person, you also have to like them. And how would you like this partner before you get into marriage? Let's see. Number 1 is enjoy their company. Okay? How do you enjoy their company? It's like you enjoy every moment and time you share with them, everything you do with them, you have to enjoy and love it. Okay? Number 2 is respecting them. Respect their views, respect their personalities, respect whom they are. Okay? Don't expect to change them. Okay? You cannot change someone unless he or she wants to change. So learn to respect them. Another thing is appreciate their personalities. Just accept them whom they are. Okay? Don't ask yourself questions like why now, how will I do, what will I do? No, just accept their personalities. That's what they are, and learn to live with them if you are ready to enter into this marriage. Another thing is wanting to spend time with them. Okay? You should be willing and free to spend time with them whenever they want or whenever they call you to be with them. So that is another thing you have to consider when you want to get married to this person. And the last thing is enjoying their humor, enjoying their conversations. Okay? Yeah? Whenever you talk, you have time together, you should enjoy what they tell you, enjoy their humor. You'll be happy, a happy person. This is someone you are going to spend your life with. So it's upon you to know these 8 critical questions I've given you before you get into marriage. Or even if you are already in that marriage, these are the things you need to know and start practicing them. I know maybe you are not aware of all this, but it's not too late. You can start practicing them, because this is someone you are going to spend the rest of your life with. I hope and believe I have helped a lot, many of you, and I request you to kindly support me by subscribing into my channel. Like this video, share it to your friends. Let's meet into my next video. Bye.